Hey there, story lovers. Welcome back to the Storytelling Podcast, your cozy corner for captivating tales. I'm your host, Alejandra, and today we're going to Évora in Portugal, a city steeped in history to uncover a story that is haunting as it is beautiful. But before we start, if you haven't done it already, please consider subscribing and liking this episode. It will help me out, and thank you for subscribing. And about the last episode, it was fun, right? Because after I posted it on Instagram and then on YouTube, many of you thanked for the episode, and I have received at least 10 other emails with stories. I haven't read them yet, but I will post another listening stories because I think that is fun, right? But about today. Today we're going to step into a place that feels like a scene of a gothic novel. A place where the past isn't just remembered, but is just literally built into the walls. We're talking about the Capela dos Ossos, and you're going to see me switching from English to Portuguese of Portugal very easily. And I actually have been there, I think it was a month and a half before this episode was recorded, because I went there just to have some days off, enjoy some family time, and make some reviews. So I decided to create this episode because I do have the real pictures and I'm going to post them on Instagram and here on the visual video. So feel free to let me know if you've been there. And of course, we're talking about the Capela dos Ossos, which means Chapel of Bones. So grab your favorite beverage, get comfy, and let's weave some magic. The Capela dos Ossos, or Chapel of Bones, it's a truly remarkable monument located in the historic city of Évora in Portugal. Situated within the Igreja de São Francisco, or Church of St. Francis, this small and unassuming chapel is one of the city's most visited sites, and for good reasons. It serves as a haunting and a powerful reminder of human mortality, drawing visitors from all around the world to contemplate its deeply symbolic purpose. The chapel was constructed in the 17th century by Franciscan monks who were faced with a pressing problem. Évora's cemeteries were becoming overcrowded. The solution was both practical and philosophical. Instead of merely relocating the remains, the monks decided to use the bones for over 5,000 skeletons to build and decorate the chapel. Easy decor, right? This was a common practice actually in Europe at the time, particularly in Catholic regions, as a way to deal with limited burial space and to serve as a constant memento mori, a reminder of death. The chapel's design is a powerful reflection of the Counter-Reformation period, the Baroque aesthetic, which often used dramatic and theatrical elements to inspire piety. For the monks, the Capela dos Ossos was a tool to encourage contemplation on the ephemeral and transitional nature of life. The message was clear. Earthly possessions and worldly concerns are fleeting, and true spiritual focus should be on the afterlife. Upon entering, visitors are greeted by a striking inscription above the doorway that perfectly encapsulates the chapel's message. Translated from the original Portuguese, it reads, "We bones that are here, for yours we wait." You know, we wait for you. We wait for your little bone in here. The interior itself is a chillingly beautiful work of art. The walls and 8 pillars are meticulously decorated with skulls and bones arranged in intricate patterns and held together by cement. The sheer number of bones, estimated to be around from 5,000 bodies, is staggering. While the majority of bones belong to ordinary people exhumed from local cemeteries, some sources also suggest that the bones of monks were included. I have to make a little note, and of course I'm going to talk about it, but there are many children in there. So just launching here the trigger warning. The chapel is dimly lit, with natural light entering through just a few small windows, adding to the solemn and meditative atmosphere. The vault ceiling, painted with death themed frescoes from the 19th century, shows scenes and symbols that further reinforce the chapel's central theme. One of the most unique features is the two desiccated corpses, an adult and a child, which hang from the walls by chains. Their identities remain a mystery, though local legends often reveal a variety of grim tales about their lives. While the Chapel of Bones may seem gruesome or frightening, its original intent was not to scare but to inspire. The Franciscan monks who built it saw it as a profound act of meditation and a testament to the common destiny of all humanity. In their view, the chapel served as a unifying space where social standing, wealth, and earthly titles held absolutely no meaning, as well who enter would eventually face the same fate that we can see on the walls, basically. Today, the chapel continues to fulfill this purpose. Visitors often find themselves drawn into a quiet contemplation of life, death, and a passage of time. The experience offers a unique blend of history, art, and philosophy, making it powerful and unforgettable to stop in any trip to Évora. As you enter this chapel, and as I said before, you have the inscription above the door which says in Portuguese, Nós ossos que aqui estamos, pelos vossos esperamos, which means we bones that are here for yours we wait. And when you enter, the interior is breathtakingly macabre. The walls and eight pillars, they are covered from top to bottom with skulls and bones in different patterns, as I said, but it's just not piles of bones. It's like a crafted design. The air is cool, of course, and the dim light makes that atmosphere like solemn and meditative. In all honesty, with all the people and all the tourists that were there, you cannot hear anyone talking. You can hear whispers of people, but as soon as people step onto the door and it's just one big room that you enter, and it had a lot of stories and had a lot of I'm sharing them on social media, but you cannot people stop talking. It's like that place that continues to be a meditative space, and you hear a whisper or something, but no one talks. It's just like very solemn. And there were basically by the time that I wrote first the post, there were two corpses hanging by the wall by the chains, one adult and one child, and they weren't there when I took the pictures. What were there is a mummy that you can see it there, a well conserved mummy. And the story that they just wrote is that it's a curse of a mummy. So basically, the father and child, a male child, they beat the woman that the mother and wife of that these two people, and she made a curse when she died because of the beating. She did curse them. Um, of course, it's the curse was basically you guys cannot die. So they supposedly were mummified, and in all honesty, it's just a story. It's just local legends, because when they actually made the autopsy to the mummies are female. So probably would be the two hanging corpses that were before. I'm not sure. I can find it out. But uh, it was, it's just a story that when you go around the room and you read all the things that are written as you go along on the descriptions that you go along on the room, it's just a local legend that it could be fun to write about it, right? Um, but the most striking features is that you have so many bodies in there, true bodies, and people try to touch it. There are a couple of pillars that you can actually touch the bones, especially the faces and the femurs, etc. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to lie to you. I did touch them. My kid did touch them because it's how we are inside. But it's not something to scare you, and you can take your kids with you. Just a little tip, and just to explain, the reality, the honesty that our body is exactly like that. There's nothing about macabre or gory, nothing like that. It's super solemn. I can honestly tell you, please go there and see it if you're going to Évora, because it's so worth it. Another thing that I can say is that when I went there, I think it was 20 years ago that I went there with my parents. The chapel was just that room. Nowadays, it belongs to a whole museum. So you have the chapel, and then you have a whole museum with things that they share from the archaeological sites, and it's nice. You can climb up to the roof and see have a beautiful view of Evora. So why not search about it and why not go there? So I just want to give this tip that you can take your kids and it won't be impressed, or won't be, having bad dreams about that. Nothing like that. The Chapel of Bones, of course, we have the name Chapel of Bones, and it's very suggestive, and it's the true, what you're going to see, but it's actually something, quite macabrely beautiful, just to let you know. For the monks who built this chapel, the bones were a great equalizer. They were a unifying symbol that showed how all humanity faces the same end. In that space, a king and a pauper are indistinguishable, they are the same. The focus wasn't on the gruesome nature of death, I have said, but on the profound message it holds for the living. And today, the chapel still holds that power. It's a place that forces you to pause, to reflect, and to consider what is the nature of life, what is this transient part, and sharing human experience. It's the testament of the part of art, history, and philosophy. And this is quite a good experience, an unforgettable experience, if I can say so. And today, this was the story, guys. It was a short one, but it's a real one that I wanted to share with you. I hope this tale from Évora, Portugal, has given you a perspective and maybe a little traveling tip for you to go. This was today's episode, guys. I hope you liked it, and comment below and share your thoughts. It's always nice to hear from you guys, and I promise that I have more episodes ready for you here weekly at the Storytelling Podcast. Thank you for listening, and please remember that if you'd like to send your stories or special topic to be shared in the next episodes, please send it to thestorytellingpodcast80@gmail.com or follow me on social media at the Storytelling Podcast Official. Before you go, if you haven't done that already, I would love for you to click on the follow or the subscribe button, and see you on the next episode.